Hey everyone, it's Marissa, your Usborne book lady here, and I have some of my top picks for flap and interactive books. So these are books that have more of a hands-on experience or some sort of a learning type, more of an interactive type experience that your kids are going to really love. So the first one is Who's Ready to Play? This is one of our newer books, and this one is unique. We used to have a book just like it, well not just like it, but very similar that I loved, and it went out of print and I almost died. So the way that it works is that every single page has the same animals lined up, but something is different, and it says something like, who's splashing whom? So you have to look in the picture and see what animal is splashing another animal. Who's upside down? So you have to look in the picture and see who's standing upside down. So they're great illustrations for toddlers and younger and like preschool age kids because it's simple background and the illustrations are pretty big and easy to make out. But you actually have to use your brain power to figure out what the question is asking. Who's changed color? So you have to remember what color all the characters were and see who's different now. So you might have to refer back to a different page. I love this book, Who's Ready to Play? This is What Makes It Rain. This is one of our great new nonfiction flap books. And we have another one that's called What Makes Flowers Grow that I meant to grab and I forgot to get it too. So this is all about the water cycle and why rain happens. Really great for those kids that ask why a million times. And super informative, goes through the whole entire cycle, leaves no questions unanswered. I love this book. And Why Do Flowers Grow is just as awesome. The Pop-Up Jungle is fantastic. It has all these cute little pop-up books, but it's not super detailed, so you don't have to worry so much about things getting grabbed onto in the last page is the best. Rawr. Rawr. My son is almost 3 and he still thinks that that book is awesome. This is Little Red Riding Hood. This is a Lift the Flap Little Red Riding Hood. So it tells the story, but it's got little flaps throughout. Here, let me see. So there's her basket that she's taking to her grandma. You can see what's in her basket. And some of them are really funny. For example, let's see, where's the one? For example, after the wolf has eaten Grandma and Red, you can open up the wolf's tummy and you can see what they're saying in there. It's really funny. So this is our new Lift the Flap fairy tale. This is Peek Inside the Farm. This is our Lift the Flap series for younger readers, for toddlers and preschool age kids. Bigger flaps, less text, makes it more approachable for younger kids. My son has been reading these ones since he was about 18 months old, but they're also informative enough that they work with preschoolers too. So this is Peek Inside the Farm. And that's the Peek Inside series. The Look Inside series is our flap series for preschool age kids. This one is Look Inside the Jungle. I think this one might be my favorite. So this talks about jungles. This first page explains how a jungle works. It talks about the canopy up top and what animals live on the canopy, what happens in the mid-range, and what happens down on the bottom. It goes through the whole ecosystem of a jungle. My favorite page, my son actually won't let me read this page, but I like it. This talks about predators in a jungle. So it has all these different jungle animals jumping out and grabbing other animals. Like there's a giant python that jumps out and wraps itself around a monkey, eats it. It's kind of, my son is, like I said, he's almost 3 and he won't let me read that part. But he likes the rest of the book. So this is the Look Inside series, and that's our preschool age flap book. And then our school age flap series is the See Inside series. And I think I mentioned this one in our must-have video, but this one in particular is probably my favorite of the See Inside series. But we also have a ton of books in the series, like See Inside Weather and Climate and See Inside Exploration and Discovery, and See Inside Your Body, and all sorts of cool things in this series. See Inside Great Cities. Lots of great things in this series. This one I love because this first page explains all of the simple machines, and then every other machine throughout the book is explained within the context of those simple machines. So it makes it much simpler, much easier to understand them. Like I understand how hydraulics work now because of this book. Lift the Flap Computers and Coding is one of our brand new Lift the Flap books, and it talks all about computers and how they work and what goes on inside of them, and then it talks a little bit about basic coding and coding languages and things like that too. And if you have a kid that's real super into coding, we also have coding with Scratch for beginners, which is not in here because it's not a flap book. But I'm going to talk about that in the nonfiction series. Lift the Flap Questions and Answers series. We have a ton of books in this series. They're not as organized as the See Inside and the Look Inside series. They're literally just a bunch of questions that are sort of thrown together. So this is the how page, and it's like how do bones turn into fossils? So this one is Lift the Flap Questions and Answers about dinosaurs. We also have just generic Lift the Flap Questions and Answers, Lift the Flap Questions and Answers about your body, about planet Earth, all sorts of different Lift the Flap Questions and Answers. These are great for toddlers and preschoolers. And then finally, I would be remiss if I did not mention our busy books and our wind-up books, and I'm going to see if I can make this work for you. The way that these work is that they have a track inside of the book, and in this case this is a pullback, so I'm going to pull the book back to make, or the vehicle back to make it go, but the wind-ups have a wind-up vehicle, so I'm going to pull the book back, and I have to hold it flat, so let me see if I can do it while I'm holding it. Put it in the track, and it goes by itself in the track. These are super fun. The busy ones in particular are made for preschool and toddler age. So they have more simple illustrations, they're more spread out, and they use a lot of positional text, so over, on top of, next to, beside. And then there's a simple seek and find on every page as well. And then the wind-ups are designed for older kids, and they're all a little bit unique. Like the wind-up bus, all the tracks work in the book, but they also they pop out, and they all four slot together into a giant, like they're puzzle pieces. So they all four slot together and make a giant track. So they're all unique. If you have any questions about that, please don't hesitate to let me know. All right, thank you so much for watching. And if you have any questions, if you're here with a Facebook party, please don't hesitate to ask them back on the event page wall. And I hope that you're having a great experience. You can find all of these books and more on my website, www.booksbymarisa.com. Thanks so much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.